Okay guys, hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to update the international HTC One X from the previous version of Android, which is 4.1.1 to the latest 4.2.2. This is a brand new release. It's pretty much available, I suppose, for just a couple of countries at this point. But we do have an opportunity to update our devices thanks to XDA forum. I'm gonna paste some links below this video, and this way I suppose you'll be able to find your way around it. Now this tutorial that I'm showing you today is basically a tutorial for people that are not very familiar with all this stuff, but I will not show you 100% of the procedures. One thing that I'm not going to show you is how to obtain a file to unlock the bootloader, but I'm going to tell you a lot about it. So anyways, this is a stock ROM. As you can see, this is T-Mobile. Some of the accents over here indicate that stuff. I'll just quickly show you the information about the software. 4.1.1 stock ROM, everything is stock. Bootloader is relocked or locked, it doesn't really matter. It's ready to be updated through the official OTA or over-the-air updates. In order to have this new version of Android flashed to this telephone, we need to do a couple of things. First of all is unlock the bootloader and then flash custom recovery. So let's begin. And one of the things that you should check before going any further is make sure that the fast boot option is switched off, because otherwise the phone will not shut completely down, which means that you will have some problems with going into the bootloader option or the bootloader menu at the beginning. I mean, like when the telephone boots up anyway. So pretty much that's it. One bit news at the start of this is I have to mention, in this procedure what I'm going to show you will wipe all the data from your system. So basically all your contacts or your custom stuff that you made. So you actually have to be sure that you either have a backup made like with titanium backup, or just forget about the stuff that you have. It will not touch your SD card, your memory in the phone, but it will just restore the defaults of your system settings. Anyways, let's go ahead. I'm gonna turn it off. There we go. On the screen on the left, what you see is basically a couple of files that we'll be using, and I'll explain everything how it goes. The reason why I also said at the beginning that it's an update from 4.1.1, this is crucial because you need to have your HBOOT updated to the version which is equal or higher than 1.3. And as you can see over here, this is the HBOOT third line from the top. This is quite important, so it is 1.3 something, or or above. Locked or relocked bootloader, so that means you have to that I have to unlock it before doing anything else. So what we do is go to the fast boot option. There we go. I plug in my USB cable over here. Okay, my computer recognizes the device. Obviously you need to have all the HTC drivers installed, and in order to have this whole thing working. So make sure that you have the latest, or at least kind of fresh drivers installed. Anyways, let's take a look over here. What I'm going to use to unlock the bootloader is the file that I need, and it was it's a generated file that comes from HTC Dev. HTC Dev, like development. It's a website run by HTC, and it's pretty much official. So if you want to unlock your bootloader, you just go over there, and there's a whole application process. You receive something like this. that file unlock code bin. This is something that comes to your mail, and it basically is just custom made for your particular device. So if you have a couple of phones, you have to generate a file for each of them, and not to you know, switch them or anything, because they won't work anyway. Right, and as you can see, I'm actually in a folder with something called All-in-One Kit. This is something, a software. I'm going to restore it here. Oh, there we go. It was developed by House in 2000, and this is a person from the XDA forum. A great application. It actually does a lot of things. Today we're going to use two, which is Unlock bootloader, and then we're going to go over here, which is the flashing custom recovery. This is version 1.1, quite old, but it does the job basically for the stuff that I'm going to do today. Nothing else is really required. So the phone is in the fast boot mode, and the file for unlocking is already there. So let me just click go. What happens here is just a few information, and then on the screen of the phone, as you can see, there is a whole bunch of information, and it says how to operate this whole procedure. And if you are quite sure that you want to do this, as I said, it will wipe everything off your system and also may avoid warranty. Let's say we are quite fine with that, so we choose yes, and then press the unlock. Press the power to unlock the bootloader. Now it's going to take a little bit for the phone to boot up. The thing is that the phone will be completely cleared, but still on the branded version of the software. So so far we didn't do much with the software itself, with the firmware. We only messed up with the bootloader a little bit. So everything is going as usual, as always. Hopefully in just a couple of seconds you will see the screen. Me too, because unfortunately you have to go through the primary settings from scratch, basically. So as soon as yeah, there we go. So unlock the screen, and there we go. Choose the language in English so that you guys can see what's going on, and then I just skip. It's not really necessary to do any settings over here, because it will all be wiped in a little bit. So the reason why there's no cellular network is that I don't have a SIM card in the phone at the moment, so that's why there's no connection. Don't worry, it's not anything connected with the fact that we're messing around with the phone. Now it will take probably a couple of seconds to load the interface, and while it's doing this, I can tell you that we need to remember about the fast boot option, which was restored once the recovery was made, or the system was restored. So that feature was also turned on by default, and we need to disable it. Come on, Tegra 3. Alright. No, thank you. Okay. Let's go to settings again. Let's go to the power and turn it off. Alright. Pretty much there. I'm going to disconnect it from the computer so there's no problems. If you leave the if you leave the telephone connected to the power source, it may actually not turn off completely. There is a fraction of the software that obviously needs to govern the charging, so try to avoid. Yep, there we go. The screen is completely blank, so I suppose we're good. Now we need to go again to the bootloader. So volume down, power for a couple of seconds, release it, and there we go. Now we need to flash the custom recovery, and go into fast boot again, connecting the phone. Yep, there it is. Okay, so coming back to this awesome toolkit that we have here, have the CWM yeah, just click over here. That's what I wanted to say. Selected, yeah, and just flash recovery. Again, a command prompt will pop up and you'll see a bunch of information. The telephone will restart when it's done. Okay, so this is pretty much for the toolkit, all we need. And now what's going to happen is just gonna wait for the telephone to boot up again to make sure everything is fine and it's running all right. Now this time we messed up with a part of the software that does not have pretty much anything to do with the interface or the system settings, so it's pretty much as we left it last time. As you can see, nothing goes over here. I'm going to disconnect and switch it off one more time, and there we go. I think it's off. Power down, volume down, power on. No, it wasn't completely off. And there we go. So now we go to the recovery, and we hope that the recovery was flashed properly. And there it is. Now it's quite important because I assume that this is the first time you have your custom recovery over here. So if you do have, if that's the first time you're running a custom recovery, you want to flash some new software, some new firmware, then the first thing you should do is actually backup. So you touch this over here and do a backup. It'll back up everything that you have on the phone. It will be kind of clean system, but it's going to be the original system of your phone, so it's good to have a backup. Now the second thing you want to do is copy the new ROM onto your device. So you go over here, go to mounts, and if you choose that option right there, the phone will oh, there you go, not exactly in the center. The phone will behave like a USB drive. So just open the USB, which is, this is how the SD card looks like at the moment on my phone. As you can see, a bunch of stuff over here. But the ROM that I want to flash is already there, just to save some time. It's 700 megabytes almost, so yeah, this is it. So actually it's better to have it prepared. Anyways, few words about the DODEX and ODEX. ODEX is actually the original state of the stock ROM, which means that it is pretty much as factory made. This means that each application that is on the system has an additional file which supposedly makes this system run a little bit smoother and faster. I'm not going to go too technical. If you want to look up the internet and go ahead and find, you can learn something more. Now DODEX means that those ODEX, because this is the extension ODEX, those ODEX files are gone and it's easier to customize. So if you're planning on doing some custom modifications of the interface, then you should go with an ODEX version. If you're not really interested, this one, I'm sorry, the DODEX, this is the one for people that want to do some customization. If you're fine with the stock stuff, and just leave the ODEX. That's my advice. Anyways, we have it all over here. Let's assume that we've done the backup as well, so we're pretty much good to go. I'm going to just shut it down and go back over here and unplug the phone. And what I'm going to do is reset a few things, because basically when you allow the system to boot, you do actually allow it to boot some applications. And when you're doing when you're flashing a ROM like this, you do want to clear all the data, all the cache memory and everything else that might be in the system. So I'm going to do here, just wipe the factory. So I'm going to restore the factory, even though it was restored just a couple of minutes ago. But it's really good to do this over here in the custom recovery mode, wiping the cache partition as well. And I will also do something advanced, wiping the Dalvik cache, which is the which is the cache of applications running in the system. Each time you boot the system, a bunch of applications is loaded by default, so we want to make sure that nothing is cached from those old apps. So pretty much right now the phone is prepared to be flushed with the new ROM. So we go over here and install zip from SDCARD. Choose zip from SDCARD, and there we go. And we go over here to the ROMs section, stock. This is where it is. This is basically like a navigation of standard the file structure of your SD card, and pick the one that we have. This is the 418. There we go, and here we start. Now, as you can see on the screen in a second, there we go. It says Android Revolution HD. This is probably just because of the script. It's not actually Android Revolution. Android Revolution basically is a whole range of custom-made ROMs by a guy called Mike1986. As you can see over here, that's his nickname. Also a developer, or yeah, actually he is kind of a developer because he's doing a lot of stuff on the forum, and he's preparing all those ROMs. Yep, on the XDA forum. So pretty much if you search this nickname over there, you'll find a gazillion of posts, and very helpful guy. Has his own blog, so the credit basically for the ROM that I'm showing you right now goes to him. He was the one responsible for preparing this whole thing. So anyways, we're right now waiting for the files to unpack. It will take a little bit of time. The next thing that we're going to do is, because with each major update of the system, and this is the case, there is also something that we need to do manually from the computer, which is flashing a boot partition. Obviously the system like Android or the memory in the device like this is made of a couple of partitions, and this is the system partition and data partition, and right now this has finished. So what we're going to do is flash the boot partition to allow this whole thing to boot up and work. So I'll click go back, and now the telephone switched off. I'm just going to wait a little bit, and I'm going to force close it, force shut it down. Right. And just quickly volume down, power on, so we're back in fast boot. There we go. So I'm going to fast boot again. I'm going to connect it to my computer. Yep, there it is. And this is it. Flash boot over here. It's a script also prepared by Mike1986, so it's super easy. You just click the batch file over here, and all you need to do, if your phone is recognized by the computer and it's connected, then just click, and you can see it's okay. So I suppose we're pretty much done. Let me just detach it and then reboot the system. Let's see how it works. Now you have to remember that the first boot after an operation like this, updating a major part of the system or applying a custom ROM, usually, especially if you do all the wipes like I did, I mean memory wipes, and what you need to remember is that it takes a little bit more time than a usual boot. So don't worry, some people say it might even take about 10 minutes. I don't think this is going to take that long, but it definitely takes a little bit more than a usual boot. As you can see, there is no T-Mobile animation anymore, basically no sound, which is also a new thing from the HTC, but there we go. So this is the setup screen. I'm just going to go really quickly through the whole stuff. As you can see, Wi-Fi works. There's a bunch of networks around me over here, and you can connect, subscribe, whatever. I'm not going to pay too much attention at the moment over here because I just want to take you to the there you have the new keyboard. Basically, as you can see already, the graphic user interface is a little bit different than the old one, and different icons. These are the stock widgets. There's a different font which looks very good, to be honest, and they resigned from all the kind of glossy add-ons or touches. It's all matte, basically matte finish. Right, and this is the settings toggle, or different toggles. So we go to the settings menu, and in the about software information, there you go. Basically, as you can see, this is the worldwide English version. So unless you actually do have a phone that was supposed to go with this software version, software number, then otherwise you won't have any over-the-air updates. But as I said at the beginning or in the middle sometime, that this update is basically for the people that cannot wait. If you can wait and you don't care, then wait a couple more weeks probably, and depending on the distribution process, and then you can have your genuine over-the-air update from HTC or your carrier. Otherwise, you can do this, what we've just done. The only thing left to do is to customize your screens and restore your data from Titanium backup or some other software, whatever you use, and that's it. I think I showed you enough. As you can see, it all works. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments. I hope to answer them. Otherwise, go ahead to XDA forum, which is, I suppose, one of the best forums for Android phones and tablets, whatever you have, and look for some information over there. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for your time. See you. Bye.